Hey beautiful beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today we are going to be doing some flat spiral stitch. This is a great stitch that's very versatile. You can use so many different kinds of beads, and most of you guys have these materials in your stash to use. It's also a great project for beginning bead weavers, and not to mention it looks very nice. The other reason I'm doing a flat spiral stitch tutorial today is because I will be back later on this month to do a variation on the flat spiral design in a graduated flat spiral necklace. So I thought this might be a good refresher for some of you, and also a good introductory stitch to learn for those of you who are newer at bead weaving. I want to also mention that the pearls I will be using today are from bbcraft.com, and you can get these as well as many other bead and jewelry making materials from their online store. And if you're interested, you can use the code GINA, G-I-N-A, to save yourself $5 off a purchase of $40 or more. This is the particular kit of 8mm round glass pearls that I will be using today, and I will leave the link for that down below, as well as links to similar materials of the items that I will be using in today's tutorial. So real quick before we get started, here's a rundown of what you're going to need to make approximately a 7-inch bracelet. If you want to make a longer or shorter bracelet, you'll just adjust the amount of beads accordingly. But to make a 7-inch bracelet, you will need 20 8mm round beads, 40 4mm beads. Now I'm using fire polish today, but you could also use 4mm bicones. I know a lot of you have those in your stash, so pretty much any 4mm bead will work. And then you'll also need some 11/0 seed beads, the clasp of your choice, some jump rings. I like to use wire guards, so I'll be using those today, as well as, of course, scissors and jewelry pliers, a size 10 beading needle, and approximately 8 feet of beading thread. I'll be using the 6-pound or 0.006 diameter Fireline beading thread. That is my personal go-to, but you feel free to use what you have or what you're comfortable with. So in order to get started, string about 8 feet of beading thread onto your needle. First, you want to string on 2 of your 8mm beads, so let's go ahead and do that. And you can pull those down to the tail and leave about a 10-inch tail for yourself, because you're going to be using that at the end to weave on your wire guard onto this end. Now it's up to you if you want to add a stop bead or not. I think with a 10-inch tail, these beads aren't going to be falling off, so not a step that I'm concerned with. Then what you'll want to do is you'll want to pick up 5 seed beads, 1 of your 4mm beads, 5 more seed beads. You'll be pulling those down to your pearls as well, and this is going to wrap around one side of your 2 pearls. And you're going to take your needle and go back up through the 2 pearls. And that's what you should have so far. So what I want to point out is when you're doing a flat spiral stitch, if you're adjusting the center beads, if you're doing a different size, the options are really endless. The technique is the same. So what you want is you want the amount of beads you have right here to just wrap around the side of the 2 central beads. Now that we have the beads on this side, we want to go ahead and match that. So we want to pick up 5 more seed beads, 1 more 4mm, 5 more seed beads, and pull those down, and they're going to wrap around the other side of our pearls. Then we're going to take our needle, and once again we're going to go back up through those 2 pearls and pull that nice and reasonably tight, and that's what you should have so far. The next step we're about to do is going to be the same for the entire length of the bracelet, so you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly, I'm sure, because you'll get plenty of practice doing the exact same thing. So the next step is to pick up one of your center beads, our 8mm pearl, pick up 5 more seed beads, and I'll just go ahead and pull those down. You want to pick up another 4mm, 5 more seed beads. So that's what you have, and then you're going to be swinging around and going through the top 2 8mm or central beads. So hanging onto your piece like this, you're going to be going through pearl number 2 and pearl number 3 and pull that, and once again your seed beads are going to wrap around those 2 pearls. So just like we did on this side, pick up 5 more seed beads, 1 4mm, and 5 more seed beads, and these will wrap around the other side. So you're going to go again through purl number 2 and purl number 3, and those seed beads will wrap around the left and pull that nice and tight. And that's what you should have so far. So it's going to be the exact same process all the way down your bracelet, no matter how long you want it. So that's something that you can gauge. We're going to be doing about a 6-inch length of this, and then allowing for about 1 inch for the jump rings and the clasp and all of that business. All right, so once again, put on one of your 8mm beads, and then pick up 5 seed beads, 1 4mm, and 5 more seed beads. You can pull those down, and then hanging on to these top 2 center beads, you're going to be going back up through just those 2 and pulling your seed beads off to one side, just like that. Let's go ahead and add our other side, adding 5 more seed beads, 4mm, and 5 more seed beads. And you can adjust the amount of seed beads you do on either side too to get different looks, whether you want the weave to be more open or a little bit more tight. All right, we're swinging around and going through these top 2 8mm. And then pulling tight and just positioning those seed beads again right on either side. So it gets a little bit easier as you go, and the beads start to stay in place a little bit better the further you go on. Let's do another one together. So an 8mm, 5 seed beads. And you can also see why you can use so many different types of beads. You don't have to just do the 8mm and the 4mm. You can adjust the sizes of the beads depending on what you have or what you want to do and follow the same type of process. All right, swinging around and going through our top 2 8mm. Something else I want to point out is you want to make sure you continuously add your beads on the same side. You're going to have a front and a back. It won't matter at the end, but while you're beading, you're going to have a front and a back. And each successive loop of seed beads should be laying on top of the one before it. All right, once again, we have our other side ready to go, so we're going to swing around, and these will be positioned on the left side now, going through these top 2 8mm. Pulling that, and there we go. And let's do one more together, putting on our 8mm, 5 seed beads, 1 4mm, and 5 more seed beads, string all of that down, and going through our top 2 seed beads. Making sure the seed beads lay on top of the ones before it. Adding the beads to our other side. Swinging around, going through our top 2 8mm. You can see the beads might initially want to sit like that, so just put them where you want them to go, shove them to either side of the center beads. Sometimes you have to press down a little bit, and as you go, they will start to sit in place better, like I said. So go ahead and continue this process all the way down until you've got it the length that you want. We'll be doing 28mm beads today to make a 6-inch portion for a 7-inch bracelet, and I will meet you back once we get to the end to show you how I finish off this bracelet. All right, welcome back. So we are at the point in our bracelet where we are ready to finish off each end, and I'm going to be using wire guards. Like I said, I highly recommend these. They really protect against the jump rings or clasps from rubbing against your thread. If you don't have them, you'll just be making a basic loop of seed beads and finishing off your bracelet in another manner. So what we're going to do, we're coming out of this center 8mm bead right now. I'm going to go up through just the seed bead directly on the right hand side of the hole. Then I'm going to pick up 1 11/0, one side of my wire guard, and pull that down. So that's what you should have so far. Now go through the other end of the wire guard, and you'll want to fit your thread right there in the groove there at the top. Pick up 1 more 11/0 seed bead, and then go down through the 11/0 that is directly on the left hand side of the hole this time. So we've successfully attached our wire guard. Now we just want to reinforce it. Go directly through the 11-0 that is on the right of that hole, and then go back up through the seed bead and the wire guard one more time, just like that. Go down through the seed bead on the left of the hole and go down this 8mm round bead at the top. Now that you're at this point, you have the option of just going ahead and tying several half-hitch knots in your bracelet and finishing off the bracelet, but I want to reinforce the end loop of these beads just because they can have the tendency to flop around a little bit. So if you're interested in reinforcing it, you can follow along with what I'm doing. I'm actually going to go through the next 8mm bead here as well, which will then position my thread right here at the base of it, and I can go back up through the first 4 seed beads on this side. So what we're aiming to do is where these seed beads meet is we just want to join them together. So there's different ways you can do this, but I find that these are meeting right about at that point. So I'm going to swing my needle over to the other loop of seed beads that's right behind the one we're coming out of, and I'm going to go through those 2 seed beads behind it. And when you pull that thread, these 2 loops are now linked together. And then just continue on through that top 8mm bead. And this time we want to reinforce the other side. So just go through the seed bead that's at the right of the hole and then proceed down through this top loop of beads until you get to, say, the seed bead right after this 4mm. And I'm actually going to go through one more and link that row with this one right next to it. So I'm going to go through this other row of seed beads right next to it, and when I pull, those loops will be joined together and they're not going to flop around. And now you're ready to tie off this side of your thread, and you can do that however you want. You can go through your entire bracelet one more time if you want to just go straight through all these 8mm to reinforce it a little bit more, but you don't have to. I went through a couple of them, and I'm going to make a couple of half-hitch knots, making a little loop that I'm going to go through there, going down a few more beads. I'm going to make another knot here, go down through a couple more beads, and make one more knot, and then we'll do pretty much the same thing on the other side. There we go. And finish that by hiding the knot and clipping off this side. Now put your needle on the tail side of your thread, and you're already positioned coming out of the top of this 8mm bead, so just like we did before, you'll follow the same process. You're going to go through the seed bead on the right, pick up one 11-0, go through your wire guard on one side, go through the other side of your wire guard, pick up another seed bead, go down through the seed bead that is on the left of the hole, and then reinforce by going through all of those beads and the wire guard again. So going up through there and back down, popping the thread into place. So this time I'm just going to go down through this first 8mm bead because that positions us right here to be able to go through these seed beads on the side, and we're going to link this loop and this loop. That way this loop's not flapping around either. So I'm going to go through those 4 seed beads. And then join it by going up through this seed bead right under the 4mm on the loop next to where we were to link those together. And then I think I'm just going to go through the beads till I get to the other side, following the thread path. I'm going to go down through these and just one more seed bead there, and then I'm going to link the loop right at this point. There we go. And now I'm going to start knotting off my thread. So I'm making my first loop right here, pulling that tight. I'm going to go through another 8mm, make one more knot right there and do one more knot, and then we'll be ready to attach our jump rings and our clasp. Alright, so take one of your jump rings and split it open. You can use 2 pair of pliers if you need to, or just use your fingers. I'm going to attach the bar side of my toggle to this side. And now that the bracelet's done, it really doesn't matter what side is front or back, so you can flip it around and wear it both ways. And I'm going to attach the other jump ring to this side and the other side of my toggle clasp, closing that up. And that's our finished bracelet, so let's try it on, see how it looks, see how it fits. This is a great bracelet pattern because it's very fluid and it fits kind of flat and nicely around the wrist like that. Isn't that beautiful? So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope your bracelet turned out lovely as well. The sky is the limit with the shapes and sizes of the beads you can use in the same manner, so don't be afraid to play around with what you have. Once again, if you'd like to check out those glass pearls that I used today on bbcraft.com, I have the link listed down below, as well as the coupon code GINA, which will save you $5 off your purchase of $40 or more, and they do offer free international shipping. Feel free to leave me a comment or question down below, and don't forget to join me for another flat spiral tutorial coming up later this month, showing you how you can use it in a necklace design. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.